This video is called Working with Old Rag Mountain Elevation Data. And the skills that I want to introduce or reinforce here are converting from 2D to 3D, from a plane map to a 3D map. And we're going to perform some new skills here with the digital elevation model, including slope calculation, aspect calculation, adding index contour lines, labeled index contours, and subordinate contours. Okay, and I'll explain what each of these does in a little more depth as we perform them. Okay, well, like all other projects, we started a map. This is a planar map, it's not 3D yet. And we're going to, it's not projected also. We can tell that because the top of the United States is straight. And we're going to create our folder connection. So right click on folders, add folder connection, choose desktop, click on Old Rag Mountain one time, and then OK. Then over under catalog, open it again. Drop down the folder connections. You can see we have our automatically created geodatabases where our outputs will reside. And then we have our Old Rag Mountain elevation layer. And as always, you must open up the 3D elevation model, to pull out this numbered raster file, 7498. Bring that over here. Okay, and it zooms to it automatically. This is actually showing a portion of the spine of Shenandoah National Park, Skyline Drive. And down here, this is Old Rag Mountain. Old Rag Mountain sits apart from the actual spine of the Blue Ridge. This is an igneous intrusion similar to Mount Rushmore or Stone Mountain in Georgia. It's granite, or similar to granite. And let's go ahead and symbolize it. Let's give it a color ramp. We can right click on Old Rag Mountain, go to symbology, and under symbology we can do the pull down to see the different colors. With the pull down, we want to also choose this box here, show names, because I want you to find elevation 1. And there it is. Now it's a really dramatic looking elevation color scheme because it shows the highest places as appearing to be snow-capped. Obviously this wouldn't be true unless it was winter here, but it does makes it easy to identify the high places and the low places. This pale blue green are the low areas, the flatter areas. And it's also easier to make out Old Rag Mountain right here. Okay. And I think I want to actually just return this to, well, we'll leave it alone. We'll leave it there for now. Okay, so we're done with symbology, so we can pin that. And what I want to do is a slope calculation. So to perform that, let me pin this better. Okay, so we go to Analysis, click on Tools, the toolbox, and type slope. Click Spatial Analyst, the second one, and then the slope tool. Our input raster will be Old Rag Mountain 7498, etc. And slope Old Rag 1 is fine. The name of the output raster. The units are going to be in degrees. So let's take a look at this. We're going to have to do some more color changes. We'll see here in a moment. So go to the bottom and click Run. And wait. It may take a while. Okay, there we go. So what it created in the olden days of desktop 10.6, this would be red to green or green to red. And I'm starting to like this slope map. but it's not quite as easy for me to interpret as the old style. But it's still good. But what I want to do is change this. So you over here in the table of contents, see that we have the slopes. The slope is broken out by degrees, where the darker colors are steeper slopes approaching 90 degrees, and the lighter colors are flat. But let's go ahead and change this. Right click on the slope old rag 1 and go to symbology and pull the drop down and choose the one that goes from green to red. It's called condition number. Now what you see here, although it may be just as overwhelming, is green areas that are flat, and the redder the area, the steeper it is. And you'll notice, I think, when we start to play with this in 3D, that this is really easy to read. Okay, and our degrees did not change. It's just a different color ramp applied to it. Okay, now let's try the next one. The next skill is to click Tools, and it just keeps closing on me, it pinning itself. Open that up, highlight the slope there, and change this to Aspect. Now, Aspect looks like a tie-dye t-shirt or a crinkled piece of aluminum that's very pretty. But what you're really looking at are the directions of the slopes. And I think it's easiest just to run it and then look at the legend and figure out what it's trying to show you. So click 3D Analyst, Aspect. We don't use old rag slope for the raster. We want to use the original raster elevation file. That's the DEM. And Aspect old rag is okay. We can leave it at that. And then run it. And we get this really strange looking, crinkled up, unfolded piece of aluminum foil that has lots of pretty colors. But let's look at what the colors mean. Flat is gray. Don't see really any gray here. North is red. So anywhere you see red colors, that means this whole side of the mountain is actually tilted and facing the north. And anything that's this teal blue is facing south. Anything yellow is facing east. And that still seems difficult to comprehend in this view, but we'll make more sense of it. Okay, so let's turn off Old Rag Mountain here for a minute. I'm sorry, let's turn off our slopes for a minute and our aspect. So now we're back to the elevation layer that we colorized. And let's put a different color on it. So I'm going to right click on it down here. Old Rag Mountain 7498. Right click. Symbology. And let's try a different one. Let's see. Let's see what I like. I'm just playing. This one's called Surface. I'll use Surface. All right. Okay. So what I want to do now is do some contours. So we're going to close this and we're going to open up the toolbox. And up here, I want you to search for contours. CONTOURS. And we're going to use Contour Spatial Analysts, third one down. And we're going to use the Old Rag Mountain 7498, etc. for the source data. And I want to change the name. Click on the folder next to Output Feature Class, and I want to change this to 100 feet, FT underscore contours, CONTOURS, and then hit Save Something's missing. Ah, I forgot to put in the contour interval. It's going to be 100. Okay, well, run it. There we go. These are 100-foot contour lines. That means the change in elevation between each line is 100 feet. I want to change the color of the line to what you normally see on a topographic map. Click on Properties, and this burnt umber, where is it? Burnt, dark umber, cherry wood, brown. So dark umber, I guess it is. Dark umber. Click that. It's kind of a reddish brown. And then apply it. Okay? And we get these dark red lines that are the elevation lines, the contour lines. But I want to click on labeling. So we click on 100-foot contours, click on labeling. We're going to add a label. Actually, we need to label the features first. Right click on 100-foot contours and choose label. And notice that these numbers are, who knows what they mean? Well, we find out over here that they are the ID number, but we want to change it to contour. Now those numbers are in hundreds, 300, 400, 500, but they're not on the line, and they're a little big. So let's change this font to 7. And let's play with the placement. There's a pull down here for contours. We can also do it here. Choose contours so that the numbers go on the lines. But now you can't see the line. They are hidden. There you can see the line right through the number. So what we can do to make this a little bit better is use this pull down over here to choose white halo. And now they have white halos on them so that the numbers show up. Okay? And we're not quite done. I want to go back and choose, I want to make contours again. So we're going to go to Analysis, and we're going to hit Tools, Contours again. It's already selected, so just click Contour. And the input raster is Old Rag Mountain again. And this time we're going to call these 20 feet FT shift underscore 20 feet contours. Save it. And make sure we put a contour interval in 20 feet and run it. Whoa, this looks very busy, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on this line. It's a little lighter color and I like it. Make it a lighter brown than the dark umber and make its point size. Just highlight over one point and type 0.5. And we'll start a new one.